Minutes left. More Houston. Thompson kicking it to Durant. Could not be stopped. Remains hot here in the second half. Final seconds of the third. Durant gives it to Jabari Smith Jr. You get a three. You get a three. Everyone's hitting threes. Later in the fourth, Şengün swings it to Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard coming off the bench in this one, but he hits the
Where's that ball movement with the end of close games, Sean?
Hold that. Let's listen to Ime Udoka on KD and Alperen Şengün after the game.
They've developed that throughout the season. You have to kind of pick your poison and, step up on Kevin and open up the pocket for Alpi, or switch it, and one of them probably has a cross-match mismatch. And I think they do a good job of recognizing who has it going on what matchup. But teams will try to take us out of that. And as I've always said, we got to improve on playing against the blitz and making the right plays in the pocket. When you see Alperen being that decisive and making the right read every time tonight, you're encouraged by it. We want them in it and don't want to overdose on that. But, we got a man, we got Reed and different guys we can handle with it. It felt like they were trying to guard guys different ways, and that's tough when you have three different handlers coming off the pick and roll.
You mentioned liking that stage against the New York Knicks, no matter where it's at. Well, Kevin Durant usually gets his against his squad. His 29.4 career points per game against New York. That trails only Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan for the most all-time. Durant has also won 22 of his 27 career games against the New York Knicks. Okay, so right now, KD, the Rockets are 6th in the West. They've won 3 straight. They've all been by double digits. It was not that long ago, Brian, that we were sitting here saying, what's wrong with their late game offense? We don't know if the Rockets are going to be able to get this done. What's changed?
Well, I haven't changed my opinion on that because they've won easily. I want to see when they have to play a close game. They just changed their starting lineup again, moving Reed Sheppard back to the bench. Guess what? It worked. He had an awesome game off the bench last night. Last night, their three-pointers were falling. When that happens, they're going to look great. I still question when they get into a close game if they can execute under duress. There's no doubt they're an excellent team. They're going to defend every night.
They have talent.
But, they still have a lot to prove at the end of these games. And really, it's not just to people like me. What does that matter? They have to prove to themselves, Shump, because I've watched them numerous times this year get into the end of late close games and just sort of melt down. And so it's going to happen again when the stakes get higher. They caught the Knicks absolutely dead last night. The Knicks couldn't make a shot. They fell down by 20 in the first quarter. It's going to, when the chips are down, when they're playing in a series, it's going to be a different situation.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that nothing really changes. We kind of knew this of Houston. This is why everybody was so high on Houston early on. It's just when we see those games, when it does get to the nitty-gritty, they just don't have a decision maker that's at the one guard. And when you're talking about the Western Conference, you're talking about really the Eastern Conference as well. It's just a guard-heavy league. You have to have a guard that can take you to the promised land.
And so on the flip side of this, the Knicks, they've lost 3 straight. They've all been by double digits. They're all against teams that are in that playoff play-in mix. And Josh Hart says, we're trending in the wrong direction. You see Karl Anthony Towns, you're smiling. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot to smile about if you're the New York Knicks right now.
Yeah, Josh, and I know what he was trying to do as a player. You're just trying to take responsibility.
Your group
you're trying to take responsibility, though. You're saying taking it on the chin. Hey, it doesn't look good. We got to get this to turn upstream. We got to get it turned around. There's no excuse. But in a time like this, especially headed into the playoffs, I want the New York Knicks to understand body language. Body language for everybody that's watching, that's rooting for you. Body language for the guy that's not getting as many minutes. Body language for the guy that didn't get the extra swing pass. There has to be some sort of feel-good energy that gets passed around. And that's why even when Karl Anthony Towns had that pass at the end of the half, you saw the head go down, the shoulders go down. It looks like I want to do more. I need to be doing more. And you can't have that going into the playoffs.
Is it I need to be doing more, or I need to find a way to be better incorporated into this offense earlier in games?
Well, there's a number of things going on with them, including Jalen Brunson. He hasn't been playing poorly, but he, since the All-Star break, has not been himself, and it spreads.
Losing streaks, 31-point win over the Nets here. You just need the Nets to come to town. The Hornets have 24 wins by 15 or more this season, the second most in the NBA. So, Brian, what do you like about this group?
Well, they had a real sort of stinker weekend. It was the first time they had let down. There you are again. So they need to bounce back. When Brandon Miller shoots the ball well, they usually play well. I think they're 14-4 when he scores 25 or more, and that's what happened last night. It was a good win.
I'm excited to see postseason basketball, or at least playing basketball, back in Charlotte. All right, in Orlando, Desmond Bane, Jalen Suggs held off Devin Booker. The Magic, they defeated the Suns. Amon, what did you like to see from the Magic during this final stretch of the season? They need to get right.
I think they just need to stay up defensively. I thought they did a great job defending the three-point line last night. pal. Keep going out there and going hard to the rim like that. I need all of that I could see. But last night I thought they did a great job of just saying, hey man, this is how we're gonna play. We're gonna go through our guy, and then the other guys are gonna fill in. We're gonna shoot it from the perimeter, and we're gonna stay in your face the whole night.
Next up, Drew Holiday, Denny Avdia, the Blazers. They snapped the Clippers' 5-game winning streak. Portland, they've won 7 of their last 9 games. But Brian, why was this win so interesting to you?
I'm going to be real here. This was the biggest game for the Blazers in 3 seasons. Seriously, they're trying to get to the 8th seed. You can say whatever you want about that. The difference between being 8 and 9 is big. You only have to win 1 game instead of 2 to get into the playoffs. This is what they're going for. Drew Holiday, they traded for him for games like this. He put up 30. Denny Avdia is kind of they're developing their franchise player. He had 28, and they did great defense on Kawhi.
It was a big game, and they delivered. In Detroit, the Raptors, they had a Jurassic-sized problem. His name is Jalen Duren. Let's check out the highlights and how this one went down.
Yeah.
We're going to pick this one up in the 3rd quarter. Still no Cade Cunningham, remember. Nice sweater, though. The Pistons leading by 4. Duren catches it, slams it down.
I'm stronger than you.
I hope that he actually said it in that voice. Next Pistons
Sounds like
possession.
Steve Urkel.
Duren, he does it again.
I would guard him. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
it might be hard to guard him, but I would guard him.
Why is that the guy that's open?
Later in the 3rd, Tobias Harris finds Asar Thompson.
Oh,
A pro's pro. Tobias Harris, man.
Absolutely.
A pro's pro.
The Pistons now lead by 20, but Duncan Robinson, sure, catch it, knocks down a 3. The Pistons,
Woody.
they're closing this one out in the 4th here. Karis LeVert, here they go. Once again, looking for Duren. Finishes, layup through traffic. He finished with 31 points, 9 rebounds. The
LeVert,
Pistons get the win. Here's JB Bickerstaff on his young big man.
I mean, just the confidence, in the development of his game. And, he's talented, man. He can handle and face guys up. He's a different type of big than you see most nights in the NBA. You may have some spacing bigs or some post-up bigs, but, when you got a guy who can face you up in space, who's got great strength, great hands, great feet, and can finish at a high level, he's hard to guard. And especially, he can play through contact and making his free throws now. So he's just a problem for people.
Duren has grown a lot offensively. This was his 5th game of the season with at least 30 points, 80% shooting, by the way. The only player to do that more times in a season since the merger, that was Charles Barkley. And Duren's 5 games are already the most in Pistons history, not just in a single season here. And I've been really impressed with what Detroit's been able to do without Cade Cunningham. The question was, how are they going to stay afloat? They have passed that test with flying colors. Brian, what have you learned about this?
Yeah, I mean, you thought that was a bad break, but it was actually a great opportunity for them to, lift up the rest of their team.
Yeah.
You saw Dennis Jenkins really playing well, Tobias playing well. How about watching Jalen Duren's whole offensive game? Yeah, he's a dunker and a shot blocker and a rebounder, but as JB said there, they're putting the ball in his hands, Shump, and letting him look at this.
He's creating for himself
and
as well.
setting stuff up, coming off pick and rolls. He, to me, has pretty much locked up most improved player. He needs another game or 2 to actually hit the 65 qualified games. But this has been an opportunity for him to highlight what he can do and expand what he can do. This Cade injury has been a boon for Jalen Duren.
Yeah, I think it works for Jalen Duren. It works for the development of the team, the confidence of the team.
Yep.
But we all know, with no Cade returning, y'all could them, and I say, hey, this
offensive game. Yeah, he's a dunker and a shot blocker and a rebounder, but as JB said there, they're putting the ball in his hands, Shump, and letting him look at this.
He's creating for himself
and
as well.
setting stuff up, coming off pick and rolls. He, to me, has pretty much locked up most improved player. He needs another game or 2 to actually hit the 65 qualified games. But this has been an opportunity for him to highlight what he can do and expand what he can do. This Cade injury has been a boon for Jalen Duren.
Yeah, I think it works for Jalen Duren. It works for the development of the team, the confidence of the team.
Yep.
But we all know, with no Cade returning, y'all can forget about all this extra hype that we're putting around you guys. Though I watch them and I say, hey, this team they mean business. They're very well coached. They have an identity. They are plug and play at times. They have guys that can step up. Do they have enough to run it through the Eastern Conference? I don't know. Without Cade Cunningham coming back and being the Cade Cunningham that he just once was, they could run into some problems. So I'm excited, but I think that JB Bickerstaff and his team have kind of proven that all year. that we only need him for the end of games to clean things up.
I agree with you that they need Cade.
Yeah.
Without question. But when they've had without him here, it's enabled them to sort of tighten up their defense. Like they already were a good defensive team, but when he went out, you could tell collectively, I'm sure it was JB, was like, listen, if you want to win, we got to play even better defense. You know, we're not going to be able to come up with the scoring that he does.
Exactly.
And so they've actually started playing better. And so they're going to earn the number 1 seed, and so they probably are going to get a first-round opponent that will be lesser than. They may need that time to get Cade back into it, but this could end up, we could be sitting here in 6 weeks with them in the conference finals saying the Cade injury was a positive for their whole run.
Particularly because someone like Dennis Jenkins gains the confidence, gains the experience to be leading that second unit. And the question was who's going to organize the offense when it's not Cade Cunningham. He has been the answer in this stretch, and you need that depth to contend with some of these other teams in the Eastern Conference, certainly if they get all the way to the finals. Hey, let's check in on the West. We have an update on Steph Curry. What does a potential return date look like? Shams is here with the answer to that. And staying west, Victor Wembanyama. He's been incredible.